guys, Greg McCoy here at Hidden Gym. My wife and I own Hidden Gym here, and excited to talk to you guys about what it takes to compete. I've been competing myself since I was 19 years old. I started in 2006. I've been coaching competitors and a personal trainer for more than 12 years now, and it's a sport that I really love. So today, we're gonna go over 9 questions that I like to ask somebody to figure out if they are ready for the stage. Question number 1, are you consistent with your daily nutrition? Getting ready for a physique competition or a bodybuilding competition is a lot about nutrition, very detailed nutrition. So you don't want to start from scratch when you start to compete. You need to have been consistent so that it's a habit, so you're not trying to learn new habits while you're trying to compete, because you have to think, you want to compete, you want to beat other people, you want to be your best. You don't want to try to be learning while you're doing it. So you need to have been consistent with your daily nutrition. And you also don't want your nutrition to be up and down, so that when you start your competition prep, you don't know how your body's going to react. So question number 1 is, have you been consistent with your daily nutrition? Along the same lines, have you been consistent with your training? If you're in a place where you're missing workouts here and there, you don't necessarily want a show to be like something that keeps you going to the gym. While it's a great motivator, you need to already have those consistent habits in place so that when it comes time to turn up the heat, that's all that you're doing. You're just doing more and harder. You're not trying to get in this habit of working out. Okay, next question. Do you have the appropriate level of muscle mass to compete in the division that you're competing? So we talked a lot about in our last video all about the different divisions and trying to find the right one for you. So you need to either assess yourself or talk to a coach or talk to a judge or another competitor to make sure that you've got the right amount of just total muscle size to be in the division you want to be in, because as you start to get ready for a show, you're likely not going to add on muscle mass. It's all about really getting all the body fat off. So there's very little new growth that's going to happen. So you got to start that competition prep with the right amount of muscle mass. And you need to assess if you've got that or not, because that's something that takes a long time to build. You're not going to build that in the 3 months before the show. That's something that you need to have been building. All right, next question. Is your body fat in an appropriate spot to start a competition prep? So the metrics that I like to use is, for women, I want to see females below 25% body fat before they start to compete. For men, I like to see them below 15% body fat before they like to compete. What is that? You can get a body fat test done. I like submersion body fat testing. DEXA scans are good, InBodies are good. The most important is that you measure with consistency, use the same tool each time. But you want to make sure that you're at appropriate level. This is meaning you're probably seeing some outlining of the abs, you've got separation in your arms. If you're above that body fat percentage, you're gonna have to diet way too hard, and you're gonna sacrifice muscle mass, and you're gonna have a really hard time after the show. So if you're not below 25% body fat as a female or 15% as a male, I likely would not advise you to compete at that time until you've got your body fat in the right spot to get started. Okay, next question, connected to the body fat question. Are you able to maintain that low body fat without doing tons of cardio? So this is a big one. It's great. So you're starting the prep relatively lean. You're below those metrics we just talked about. But if it takes you an hour a day of cardio to be 15% body fat, it's only going to have to go up from there. So we want your metabolism to be in a place where you are comfortable being lean, you're comfortable in that sub 15 or sub 25% body fat, so that when we start to add cardio, we're not just stacking it on top of what you've already had to do. All right, next question. Are your hormones in a healthy and optimal range to compete? This definitely gets more important the older that you get, but it's important for young people as well. And it's also important for people that have competed or had high swings in their weight. I advise that you get blood work done just to make sure that your hormones are in the right place, that you'll be able to get the results that you're working for, because you can't outrun a bad hormone panel. You're going to be working way harder than you have to, and you might not even, depending on what it looks like, you might work so hard and it's still not even be possible based on what your blood work looks like. All right, these next few questions are less about your actual physique and more about fitting your life into a competition prep, because it's a serious undertaking. So question number one, do you have the budget to compete? Most people don't realize that it takes quite a bit of money to properly prepare. So you've got to think through all the costs. Most federations require you to have a membership to their federation. So there's a fee there. You're gonna have to pay to enter the contest that you want to compete in. And if you're competing in multiple divisions, those costs will start to add up. Once you get to show day, you've got to pay for the tan. Girls especially need to take into account hair and makeup costs. Also for females, guys need to buy suits too, but ours are much cheaper than what the girls have to get. Competition suits and competition jewelry are not inexpensive. And then a large part of the budget is going to be if you're working with a coach, you've got to budget in for the coach. And then especially in some of the divisions where posing is a really big thing, posing coaching can be a big investment, and it's money well spent, but it's something that you need to budget for. And then, you just have to, stuff that you're probably already used to spending money on, but healthy foods, supplements, gym memberships. So just, it would be wise of you to take into account all the different costs, and that's something too, if you're working with a coach, they can really help you answer all those questions, because it's a lot to take in if you've never done this before. So making sure that you've got the budget to get to where you want to go is important. One super important question that I like to ask is, can you manage life events in the 12 to 16 weeks leading up to your competition? These are things like weddings, vacations, work trips that you might have to take, life stuff that we all have to deal with. It's unlikely that you can dedicate 3 or 4 months and not do any of those things, but you do need to have a plan to manage it, because when you get on stage and you're standing next to somebody that's really, really good, you can't tell them, well, I look like this and I attended all the birthday parties as well. Like, they're not gonna take that asterisk. So you have to have a plan to be able to still do what you need to do and take care of your life events. And sometimes, if life is too busy, it's not the right time to compete, and you need to seriously address, is this the right time for me to compete? Last but certainly not least, a very important question is, do you have the support of your family and or close friends? So this is definitely a difficult sport, like any sport, but the hard part about this sport is it's 24 hours a day. It's not like after practice you can go relax and have a beer and eat something. It's going to be going on 24 hours a day, and it's going to take a toll. And if you don't have a support system in place, it amplifies the difficulty level. So make sure that you've got some good people in your corner. It can be training partners. It can be competitors that you've met that might want to mentor you. It can be your coach, but having that support system, especially from the spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, or close family members, is extremely important to really help you and for you to lean on them as you get tired and as you really push towards this goal. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, my name is Greg McCoy. If you'd like to talk to me about contest prep coaching, you can email me at training@gregmccoy.net. We're going to continue to do these series about what it takes to compete. Also, we'd love to have you here at Hidden Gym. You can check out our website, hiddengym.net, or find us on any of your major social media channels. Thanks, guys.